I want to thank the organizers for the warm invitation. Thank comrades for sharing this important platform with me. And of course, to send my sincerest apologies that I can't be with you in person. As you watch this video, I will be giving another presentation at another conference. Such are the wonders of modern technology in Chongqing, a city in China that in a few decades grew to be roughly the size of Austria, with a population that by some counts is now nearing that of my native Poland. In some ways, it feels miraculous to be celebrating the continuation of a socialist project in 2024. And I think that we have to insist on those words, celebration and socialism. Even on the ranks of the left, too many dismiss the seriousness of the Chinese socialist process, or even the idea that China is on a socialist path. And of course, the notion that there is anything left to celebrate. But it feels miraculous to me because I come from a country that has abandoned its socialist path. And knowing what was lost sharpens the appreciation for what has survived, what has persisted in China. In fact, last I was here in Shanghai, someone had asked me whether Poland had followed a similar path to China's reform and opening up, becoming, as is widely accepted, as you will read in all the international press, Europe's great success story. I didn't quite have the heart to tell them. But I want to try to give you a sense of what the loss of the socialist process has meant for Poland's role in the world. Just last week, on the 24th of September, an anniversary passed by that is scarcely remembered in Poland. In fact, I wouldn't have known about it had I not proverbially dusted off the information from some remote corner of the Polish internet. But 65 years ago, before all the rubble from the Second World War had been cleared, the leader of the Socialist Polish People's Republic, Władysław Gomułka, announced that Poland would build 1,000 schools, one school for every year of Poland's existence. The war, as you well know, devastated Poland's social infrastructure. We had very little support in rebuilding. And in 1961, there were 74 children for every classroom. There were 700,000 children born every year between 1949 and 1959. There was a big demographic boom. And the program, by the time it concluded, saw the state build over 1,400 schools and 6,349 homes for teachers, an achievement that would never be repeated in Polish history. And of course, that one that was without precedent. We still go to these schools in Poland today. The experience gained in that process did not remain within Poland's borders. Polish architects and builders and urban planners traveled around the world, helping countries that had emerged from the ravages of colonial rule to build their own schools, their own houses, their own universities, their own concert halls, and other public buildings. One of the companies involved in this process, a state-owned company called Budimex, helped design, among many things, a master plan for the city of Baghdad, looking decades into the future. Then our socialist project collapsed. We sold off our public companies, we joined NATO, we helped destroy Iraq. And just a couple of years ago, Budimex, now privatized, built a wall to stop the victims of US wars in the Middle East from crossing Poland's borders through Belarus. This is what the collapse of socialism has meant for our role in the world. We lost our ambition, we lost our solidarity, and we lost a sizable chunk of our humanity. When some on the left expect China to conjure up, as if out of thin air, the socialism imagined in some bedroom or some university hall in Britain or the United States, they ignore not only the continuing achievements of Chinese socialism, but also the counterfactuals. What would have been lost had China abandoned the path of socialist construction? Would China build the world's largest network of high-speed rail without socialism? Would China lift 850 million people out of poverty without socialism? Would China achieve its climate target 6 years ahead of schedule without socialism? Without socialism, would China come to lead the global green transition, dramatically cutting the costs of renewable energy for everyone? Would China export its development know-how to countries that had been denied development for decades and centuries by the Western world? And would China remain peaceful and at peace? I don't think that I need to answer those questions because we have ample precedent in the formerly socialist countries of Eastern Europe. So I want to briefly return to this idea of celebration. In China, we have proof that the socialist era is not behind us, that we have not, as too many in our ranks insist, been defeated. To the contrary, China's peaceful rise points to the promise of a socialist future on the horizon. China built on the legacies of the October Revolution, found immensely creative ways to navigate the contradictions of a global economy captured by imperialist interests, and has set itself the explicit goal of building an advanced socialist society. And my contention is that in a period in history dominated by the merciless violence that we see committed daily against the Palestinian and now Lebanese people, by what is in fact a relic of the past, a European colonial project that had no right to survive the era of decolonization, we can take immense hope from knowing that there exists still a project of the future. Thank you.